welcome. You're watching Medically Speaking. This is a show where we talk about everything health. But this week around, we will not be talking of coronavirus. We'll be talking of another silent endemic. Why silent? Because there is a lot of unawareness around it. There are a lot of experts who are trying to create awareness around it, and that's really the agenda of this episode of Medically Speaking as well. We are going to be talking about CPR. What is it? Why should everyone know about it, first of all? Why it even matters at a time when everyone's talking of the COVID pandemic? Should we even bother about it? I know these are pertinent questions which come to your mind, viewers, and we'll be answering those in the next 25 to 30 minutes. I'm not an expert, but to help me out and to help you all better understand what the topic is, what the level of awareness is, and what we and the policymakers need to do, I have a battery of experts, and I would like to welcome them to our very special telecast. I have Dr. SSC Chakra Rao. He is the chairperson at the IRC. Thank you, sir, for joining us. I also have Dr. Rakesh Garg. He is the director IRC. I have Aditya Kumar, who had also helped us get the whole panel. He is the public relation officers at the IRC. And then we also have Nikki Sabharwal. She works there. She will help us understand really how this system works, how we can, you and I, how we can give someone perhaps a CPR by our bare hands. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to start, first of all, with you, Dr. Rao. My first question, when we are talking about CPR, that's how I introduce this topic, because right now the viewers are quite obsessed with COVID, with coronavirus. We feel that kills. But there are, of course, hundreds and thousands of silent deaths which are happening due to cardiac arrests. There is absolutely no knowledge on how you and I, the viewers, common man, can save the life of someone within minutes. Help us understand what it is and what the common man can do really at a point of time if they are witnessing someone getting a cardiac arrest.
So, good evening. The sudden cardiac arrest is one of the most silent killer among all the things. It is not a disease as such. It is something like an incident or an event that happens to a victim. I do not call him as a patient. He will be a victim of this sudden cardiac arrest. And for a population of 1.38 billion, definitely there are more than 5 crore people are succumb to cardiac arrest every year. And if you calculate in minutes, 112 victims or fall prey to this sudden cardiac arrest every minute. So this is a very silent killer, and we have to definitely, it is a all preventable deaths actually. So how we can prevent is to train more and more people in cardiopulmonary resuscitation. The cardiopulmonary resuscitation is a very simple measure, and actually, and all these deaths which are occurring are 80% of them are outside the hospital. So there is a need to train the laymen and school children mostly. And I also say that even housewives should be trained, because when you are in a group of trained people, only you can be saved. Otherwise, when there is nobody who knows some training, it is very difficult to save. But there are 5 methods where we can ask them or improve the training. One is improve the training for all the people, not only medics and paramedics, to the lay people and school children, and make a telephone CPR. You order or instruct somebody through telephone and do a CPR, and improve the emergency medical system. That is more important, because we have a lot of inaccessible areas, and in our India, because of a lot of differences, roads, congestions, and all those things, the ambulance cannot reach the victim within 3 minutes. So we have to improve that. So probably we may have to use some drones to carry the AEDs. And another thing is the cardiac arrest centers also has to be established. Cardiac arrest centers means it is not a very special device, but everywhere, wherever we sit, even in a cafeteria or the cinema halls, malls, and any place where there may be a congregation of people, there should be some trained people in CPR, and not and also there should be an availability of AED for the people. Then we can definitely improve the survival rate by about 50%. And here, one thing is, any delay of even 1 minute will decrease the survival by 7 to 10%. So these are the methods what we have to follow. And the Indian Resuscitation Council is trying to impress upon the people and the government to bring them all.
Right. And, Dr. Garg, please come in here since we are talking about this difference between trained and untrained people. Help us understand what entails in this training, because, a lot of people really may fear or may not understand that it's not something which takes weeks or even, years or hours and hours of training. It's something really basic, which very easily just about anyone can get well equipped with, isn't it, Dr. Garg?
Absolutely. I think you have said it very rightly. There are two aspects of it. One is, like, for example, say we can learn from YouTube how to drive, but unless we have someone to on the wheels, then only we know it how to drive correctly. Now, it's a human being. We have to do it effectively. And the training is very simple. For layperson, it has been simplified. So we can teach almost around 40 to 50 people in a time around for 2 hours or so. It doesn't take much. And it has been formed in such a way that this remains scientifically evidence-based. And the technique is very simple, just requires understanding, which takes around 15 to 20 minutes for a group of 40 to 50, and another practice on 5 minutes, which we usually do on mannequin. Mannequin is like an rubber human being on which we can show them how to compress on the chest, because we are talking about CPR, and for layperson, it is compression on the life support, and how to do it correctly can be trained on these mannequins. It's very doable, and we have been doing for the last so many years now, and not only in India, but outside India, people are learning it. So I think it's absolutely doable, and everybody should come forward to get trained into doing CPR.
Right. Everyone should come forward, but then there is a lot of lack of understanding, lack of awareness, and that's where, the public relation departments, the media really comes in. Aditya, perhaps you could come in at this point of view. Of course, I could see articles on CPR Day just about by every newspaper, by every daily. But I know a lot of youngsters, and I'm sure you know it more than me because you are in that department. A lot of youngsters are not reading newspapers and not watching news channels. I think Dr. Garg raised a very pertinent point. YouTube, social media, perhaps. Are you looking at that avenue to reach out to the younger generation, perhaps, which was wasting time earlier on TikTok and now on Facebook and Instagram? You can use the same channels which they're addicted to give something informative. Apologies. Are you using those channels at all as of now? If so, how?
Yeah, yesterday itself, our chairperson, Dr. Chakra Rao, he used Facebook Live and he addressed this about the whole information regarding this CPR thing. What is CPR? How can we do? What is the importance of CPR? Various issues he addressed. So time to time we use all social media platforms.
Right. You use social media platforms, but what's the response? Any database which you have collected or anything which you can tell us offhand also? Interest from youngsters, are you seeing that culminate or really, boost up, considering also it was earlier lockdown time and a lot of, I know younger generation kids were hooked on to their mobile phones and social media.
Yeah, few youngsters, when they come to know that how important is CPR, suppose anybody collapses, because more than 80% cases happens outside the hospital, either at our own home or schools or colleges. There they see their own teachers, they have collapsed due to cardiac arrest, or their parent or their brother or their sister or anybody else in the family. Then they realize, now they have started realizing, if I would have been known this CPR thing, would have been much better. I could have saved the life of my own people, my
Yes.
next door neighbors. Such things are also coming in their mind. That people are approaching, youngsters are also approaching to us time to time. They would like to have, session in their college, in their schools, in their university. In fact, we did, such conferences time to time in various colleges. So yeah, it's that kind of awareness is coming up.
Right, and it's really an endemic, because cardiac arrest nowadays not just limited to the elderly, teachers and maybe parents. It's also a lot of youngsters because of the lifestyle, etc., which they have, which is affecting them. In fact, I had a very young friend by the name of Vedant who passed away. He was not even 30. He had a cardiac arrest. But again, I don't know if he got any CPR or not because he was alone at home. But yes, it's pertinent. If one of us can save a life, why not? And Nikki, why don't you come in here? We're all talking about how it should be performed very theoretically. Help us understand. I don't know if you can give us a demonstration, but if you could just help a layman understand in the easiest of terms and really break it down. What is someone to do if they see that a person right next to them stops breathing for a few seconds, they suspect that they could have a cardiac arrest, or perhaps they already know someone has a history of heart diseases? Nikki, over to you.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Meenakshi. See, the first and foremost is the creating of the awareness of which we've been talking about. What CPR is, what is the importance, timely assistance, and who can do it. So, under the IRC, we have formulated the first ever Indian guidelines for doing cardiopulmonary resuscitation. And this is broken up into different parts. So for the lay persons, there's a compression only life support, where only by chest compressions, right, they can save a life. Now, if our government intervenes and we make it mandatory for every citizen to learn this POLS or compression only life support, this can be a lifesaver for. So just with our two hands, this can be done. Secondly, is the importance of the AED.
But I think the first point, which I was trying to make was very pertinent. Why don't we make it mandatory, Dr. Rao? Are you in touch with policymakers? Are you in touch perhaps with the government of India to make it mandatory? You have moral sciences and so much on, other things for school children, perhaps in schools and colleges. Can it not be a part of syllabus, something for which they get credits in case they know? And it's really a life-saving technique if they know this technique.
Yes, it has to be followed up with the government. And thanks to Dr. Rakesh Garg and Aditya and Madam. Actually, it is included in the CBSE curriculum nowadays. And
Okay.
probably after the cessation of this COVID, definitely we all will, every place there are CBSE medium schools. And they're all private schools who can afford to buy some few mannequins. Definitely we go identify them. We have already contacted the director of the CBSE schools, and they will give a list of them. And we ask them to, our people to approach them and tell them and train their teachers first. We train their teachers so that their teachers can actually instruct them to how to do a CPR, and then we will form a very good network of school children so that they will be act like a first responders. That will be done. And other things, of course, now we have Dr. Nikki Sabharwal, Dr. Rakesh Garg, Aditya, all these people, definitely they will approach the government. And we have already in some of the medical universities, they made it mandatory. And even NMC has made it mandatory for the first year as a basic foundation course, but it has not made it a certificate course. So we have to make it a certificate course and an examination. And like that, we will be improving. Not only that, we have to make it mandatory for NSS camps and NCC cadets and things like that. So all of them, they will make a very big group to learn this CPR.
Right. Absolutely, Dr. Rao, you've made a pertinent point. And Dr. Garg, why don't you just come in here? Dr. Rao was saying that you are perhaps advocating already with the government. Take us through really what are you advocating to the policy makers of our country, and what's your advice? What do you think can be done to create awareness, to increase awareness about this life-saving technique, sir?
And actually, there are 2 points into it, right? So when you say, why shouldn't we make it mandatory? In life, we cannot make everything mandatory. It has to create
I'll tell
awareness.
you why. I'm sorry I'm interrupting you, and I'll tell you why I think it should be made mandatory, because I've been in college as well. If my NCC was not mandatory, I can give you in writing, I wouldn't have cared about it. We all get some credit at the end of the year, and a college kid, they are quite frivolous. We may grow up to be a different individual later, but if you get some marks, if it's going to be added in your examination, you're going to be credited for it. It is a mandatory push.
I fully agree with you. I think if through some policy, if it can be made mandatory in various schools and medical colleges, it is absolutely fine. If we see our medical education, most of the medicals which are being passed, like from the NMC and MCA earlier, it has been a part of the teaching curriculum. Yes, we fully agree that the school curriculum CBSE should take, and they have already taken an initiative where it is a part of it. So I think the budding students who are ambassadors for us for next 6, 7, 8 decades, they will be ambassadors, and think if they are being taught, then it obviously will be helping our community. On the other side, if the flip side of it, if I come to you, the problem is even if I teach somebody a mandatory things of doing CPR and gives him a certification, but if he sees something collapsing on somebody on a road and he doesn't from his inner feeling wants to help them by doing CPR, this is a big issue. And that's why through your channel and through medias like you who are definitely helping us in creating awareness, it's just not creating awareness, but it's also the inner consciousness that needs to be generated, that the country, the community, the society has given us so many things to us, a clean air, a road to walk, and so on and so forth. Why can't we give back something to the community? So I think this type of inner feeling should come out from the community service from our side, and we should not only learn it, which we are providing a platform, but also we should be ready to help in various formats. And
Well,
definitely,
absolutely.
definitely, I think various platforms, including the NMC from medical community, including the government is working and supporting us a lot. And CBSE has already taken an initiative. I think a big work is being done from all over, and channels like you, like the enthusiastic journalist Aditya, and you and all your team, I must congratulate and thanks to you that you are supporting in this noble cause of creating awareness.
Well, absolutely. We're doing whatever little, sir, we can do. But Aditya, since we're talking, the whole discussion seems to be culminating to one point: awareness, awareness, awareness. We've discussed social media. We've discussed how it's already included in CBSE, perhaps the curriculum. But really, the urban-rural divide, that's something which Dr. Rao had said right at the beginning of this debate. How are you, or how are you trying to bridge it, or how do you think it can be bridged really? How can people in rural areas where access to a doctor or even primary healthcare may be a few hours away, not just in, how are you bridging that gap?
Actually, ma'am, life donation is a very big donation. It's it's an age-old thing of our Indian culture. So people know all these things a little bit. If we take the example of other countries like Europe, America, Singapore, or Japan, they had included CPR, basic CPR, in their syllabus long time ago. But now, Indian Resuscitation Council, due to efforts of Indian Resuscitation Council, we have get it included in CBSE. And now we are trying to get it included in local level, regional level, because students go to school, if they will learn through schools, it will, impress them more rather than saying to them. But other than that, in recent times, we are trying, time to time through local newspapers or television channels or, local rallies, we are trying our level best, because our organization was being started 3 years ago, Indian Resuscitation Council. Afterwards, on 16th of October 2019, we had trained 7 lakh people around the country free of cost, which is a record itself. The world bodies around the globe, they appreciated it like anything, because we are trying our level best. But in recent times, due to COVID situation, we are focusing upon TOT, trainers, teaching of trainers. We are making a network of trainers who will teach further to, if demand comes. to all the people around the country. But rural
Right.
divide is there. So we are trying our level best through this awareness campaigns like you and other things. These are the media through which we can do.
Well, absolutely. As I told Dr. Garg also, we're more than happy to create awareness. It is really a pertinent topic, Aditya. Nikki Sabharwal is joining and leaving. If you could just sort this out on a message or a phone call with her. Meanwhile, I'll just ask a question of, Dr. Rao. We'd be more than happy if Nikki could join us back. Dr. Rao, I'd like to rope you back in the conversation till we get Nikki back. She was just telling us about how someone like a common man, a viewer who's watching this show, can save a life with their two bare hands. Help us understand really what the process is, how someone can perform resuscitation on another person who perhaps is suffering from a cardiac arrest or has stopped breathing for some time. Dr. Rao, over to you.
Yes, actually, your two hands can save life is our slogan. There is no need for a very expensive equipment or anything. And actually, when you are outside the hospital, only your two hands will be available.
Right. All right. Nikki, are you with us? Would you like to add something to it? Yes. Would you like to add something to it? I'm sorry we lost your network earlier.
Yeah. No, see, Dr. Chakra Rao has given the demo on the YouTube, and these training programs need to be started at a very young age from the school level and even in the college level. The importance which I would like to tell everyone through your channel is tomorrow it could be a near and dear one of yours who's collapsing in front of you, and you are helpless to help that person. So this, the thing that Dr. Rakesh Kar was talking about, the inner consciousness or the attitude of helping. So if with our action we can save, just think if it's a loved one who collapses in front of you, and if you can do something for that loved one, how it would be. We have trained thousands of people, and just by our two hands, and if we have an AED available, like if you're in the aircraft or if you're in the mall or the metro where AEDs are available, these should be made available in schools, libraries, colleges also, being revived. If we don't have an AED, we continue with chest compression, and that also is helpful. So this is the message I want to give. Tomorrow it can benefit everyone, and even the people who are selling this equipment have saved their neighbors, their friends, because they have been showing how to use it. So it's a very simple procedure, and we all should have the earnestness to learn it. It is available. The training is available free of cost, and we can help in training people. You should have the eagerness to come forward.
Well, absolutely. And, I have a follow-up question for you, as well, Nikki. At this point in time, we spoke about the importance of training, how easily and readily available it is, at our beck and call on our mobile phones, anywhere, everyone has a Wi-Fi and internet connection these days. But the question is, perhaps for someone who is untrained, and I don't mean the uninitiated, someone who is aware of what it is, perhaps has seen a video or so, but has not been trained formally, isn't absolutely sure of what they should do. Should they go ahead and try to perform CPR on a person who collapses in front of them?
Definitely. Any effort is better than no effort. And even the virtual training on the videos can help them perform in a crisis. So it is not a rocket science. It can be learned by everybody. And yes, we must make the effort of trying to save a person, because that's better than no effort. Call for help, but continue with the chest compression till you get help. This is the message to the public.
So some help, it's of course, doing something is better than doing nothing and just being a spectator. I think you have summed it up very adequately for us. And I think I also perhaps lost track of time because it was such a riveting conversation. I would like to take a concluding, argument from all of you. I'm going to start I have just spoken to Dr. Rao, so why don't I go to Dr. Garg? Dr. Garg, your concluding argument.
I think each one of us can contribute something to the society. If we can help a cardiac arrested victim, I think a person nearest to who will be the layman, who will be the your friend or maybe a neighbor, I think each one of you can contribute. Even if in your life, if we can save one person, I think you have done your job. You have given something back to the society, and it is absolutely doable. As Madam said, Dr. Nikki said, who's also a president of our ISA Delhi, and she is doing wonderful job in creating such awareness. I think each one of us can contribute learn CPR and
Over
save
to you.
lives.
Your concluding remarks.
Me, Meenakshi?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Nikki,
Yeah,
I was
okay.
anyway going to.
I would like to say, just as the principal of a school or the president of an RWA or the manager of the mall finds that it's his responsibility to run the show properly, this should be a priority. They should be able to organize these camps. We have done it here in Chanakyapuri where we are staying. We have done it in our hospitals. We have trained over 5,000, even the security people, even the non-medical people working in the hospitals. Yes, in the schools also, children have been trained, but the in charges of these institutions should take it upon themselves to make this as part of their curriculum and teach each and every member or officer or the worker or the student in their organizations. This is
Right.
what I would like to say.
And Althea, your message, we've come a full circle. You started talking about earlier social media and its importance. What will you say to the youngsters perhaps watching this show?
Ma'am, only 2% of our population are being trained in CPR, which is very less, very, very less. If we talk about other countries, their population more than, because they keep reading in their syllabus. So they are more aware than us. So we should try our level best. Indian Resuscitation Council is trying its level best. We are giving free of cost training. They should come forward. They can visit our website also. I'm telling the website address also, which is www.cprindia.in. They can visit, they can register themselves. We will contact them. So they should take our help. We are giving free of cost. It is life-saving technique. They should take, it's mandatory. You rightly said it should not be mandatory, but they should realize the importance by themselves, how important it is.
As I conclude, I'm going to conclude with some words of a panelist here. And I think they are so important in today's time and age. We are seeing so many people lose their lives due to COVID. We've seen and I'm sure just about every second person watching this telecast would know someone or the other, very unfortunately, who has lost their life due to COVID. Let's not lose life due to cardiac arrest. Perhaps, maybe I was wrong. Making something mandatory is not the way. This feeling has to come within, as Dr. Garg said. Even one life saved is an achievement of a lifetime. And I hope all of you viewers will log on to IRC's website, learn how to perform resuscitation. Hopefully, some of you at least can save even one life. And then we'll think this program has been a success. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. Thank you profusely. It's been a very informative session for me, and I hope as well as for you all viewers. If you liked this program, this discussion, please subscribe to our YouTube page. Also subscribe to our website. We will be telecasting this show on Mondays, Thursdays, and on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Thank you for watching.